Hi, and welcome to this quick video tip. That's not true. Hi, and welcome to this video. Do you ever feel like you're stuck in your business and stuck at a certain income level, and no matter how hard you try, you can't break through? Do you know deep down inside that you're meant to do a really big thing here in the world, serve in a very big way, and for the life of you, you just can't seem to figure it out? If so, then you're in the right place. I want to share with you a story about one of my breakthroughs in hopes that it inspires you. My name is Vanessa Simpkins. I'm the author of a book called From Bankrupt to Making $900 a Day Selling Mops. And I'll start this story in my living room, which is where you guys are at. And I was here just about a week ago with my sister and one of my good friends. My sister was visiting from out of town. She's an adventure tour guide, and she doesn't get a lot of time. I don't get a lot of time to spend with her. And my friend came over and we had this huge discussion, and she told me that, you know, Vanessa, you need to be out on bigger stages. You need to be sharing this enthusiasm, this inspiration with the world, and you have a way about you. And my sister was nodding and saying, yeah, you know, you really do. And I was very resistant to the message. And it has to do with my father, who is an artist. My father was a famous landscape painter, and he painted the essential facets in nature: air, water, and light. And he had a philosophy called essentialism. And my friend was telling me, Vanessa, you have the same gift. People always ask me, you know, do you paint? And I'm like, no, I speak, right? And so my sister and my friend were both telling me, you've got to get out there and speak in a bigger way. Okay. I've been planning for a one-day event, my big one-day event that just happened last week. It was a huge success, marketing and mindset breakthrough event here in Montreal. And I also had booked a ticket to New York to visit my marketing mentor and spend 2 days with an amazing tribe of fabulous entrepreneurs. And so here I was preparing for this trip, you know, leaving for 4 days to New York, and that same week organizing this one-day event, and my mind was going, you know, how can you leave? Oh my God, you know, you've got all this stuff to do. How can you spend this money right now? You're, you know, investing in this huge one-day event. What are you doing? And I was just like, okay, mind, be quiet. Be quiet, I'm going, and that's it. And so my sister was ruffling through some of my dad's papers in the laundry room, some of his writing, while I was packing and trying on outfits, and she came across a greeting card. Actually, it's a birthday card that I sent my father the year before he died. And it said, I'll read it to you, it's beautiful. It says, you said I could do anything I set my mind to. I don't know if you realize how much those words influenced me as a child and continue to inspire me as an adult. To this day, whenever I try something new or dream of doing something different, I hear your strong, encouraging voice cheering me on. It's true. I can do anything I set my mind to, because I have a dad who believes in me and taught me to believe in myself. On Father's Day and always, thank you, Dad. Happy birthday too. The big 65, look out. So I'm getting emotional. And I cried when I read this card, because I'm crying now. And I cried when I read this card because it was like a sign, you know. I was having all this anxiety about going out there to this event and putting on my own event, and it was like at the perfect moment, you know, this sign, like, just remember what you know, set out here to do. And so I was able to go to my event and kind of have a calm mind. I had a big cry with my sister, and it was beautiful. And at the same time, this gentleman who has a big website about art, you know, emailed us wanting us to share my father's life story and write to this blog that, you know, gets 500 visits a day and the universities use. And so there's a big part of the story that I'm missing to tell you, but my father and my grandfather and their two brothers were all famous Canadian artists. My father, the landscape painter, his father, who was a watercolor specialist, who did the original Captain Morgan on the rum bottle. He won the highest art award in Canadian art called the Dow Price Award in 1932, 1934 for his watercolors. He did the most amazing horses like in the world, which you can't make a mistake with watercolor, right? Because you have like water, right? You put it on the paper. And then, you know, the other artist, my great uncle, Jim Simpkins, who founded the Canadian Cartoonists Association. He had this Jasper the Bear cartoon that was published in Maclean's magazine for 27 years. We have a letter from the Queen of England thanking us for their contribution to Canadian art. You know, the other brother, Tom Simpkins, who worked for the Hudson Bay Company for 30 years, organizing their entire publishing company, publishing and drawing, you know, the advertisements before they actually had photography. So I've got this huge family legacy in art. And whenever my sister and I get together, our dad kind of comes through one of us, or something happens. And like this gentleman who emails us out of the blue saying, hey, I'd like to have you on my website to share your family's art legacy. You know, no strings attached, just want to share what you've got because your dad's a great artist and needs to be, you know, out there. So all of this is happening at the same time. I go out to this event and I hear the question. So the marketing mentor, my marketing mentor, Fabienne Fredrickson, who's wonderful, is on the stage, and she asks the entire room, and here's my question for you today. What have you been resisting doing in your business? What would you do all day long for free? And what do you do all day long for free now? And what have you been resisting doing in your business? And I know you're probably thinking like I did, like I've heard this question like 500 times already, but something clicked. It clicked right away for me that day. And the answer was, I share stories. I'm a storyteller. It's what I do. And I've been resisting doing it. And that's why I'm creating this video here with you today. So I got up to the microphone, I shared the story about my dad, and the whole entire audience was like transfixed. And he came up to me later on and told me, you know, Vanessa, you're like the female Tony Robbins. You're so tall and you have this voice and the charisma and wow. And I was like, oh, I was really touched. And it's true, I have been, you know, not sharing these stories. I've been sharing it with my clients, but not in a, you know, big, huge public stage, which has been the whole intention, right? So the next morning I leave I take a shuttle to the airport and I meet these two amazing people in the shuttle and I start sharing the story. Well, holy smokes, they are blown away by this family art story that I have. You should be on Good Morning America. The guy tells me, you're the next female Tony Robbins. I'm like, oh my God, this is twice in a span of 24 hours that someone is telling me this. So I'm starting to freak out a bit, right? Anyways, I get into the airport, making me all these great ideas about where to speak and who to call and contact this guy and so needs to hear your story. And so I get into the airport and I'm walking by and I see this sign and it's a huge big sign and it says, I have a story to share. I mean, the signs were everywhere. So I'm making a commitment right here, right now, to share my stories and to share them with you and with the world in a much bigger way. And so I started doing that at my one-day event. It was a smashing success. Everyone loved the stories. And that directly impacts your income. So what have you been resisting doing in your business? And what would you do all day long for free? And what do you do all day long for free? And how can you start doing more of that? So I hope this has been an inspirational video. I just, you know, shot it off the cuff. I want to share it with you. And so sharing it with you, I'm making a commitment this year to getting out there in a bigger way and sharing my stories. So I hope you have enjoyed this one. My name is Vanessa Simpkins. I send you lots and lots of love.